And we're coming in for land at the Ender Fort. Woohoo! Oh, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ender Fort. This is Snapshot 15W42A, and as you can see, there have been some slight changes to the way things work. For a start, you take horizontal flying damage, so be careful if you're flying into any cliffs with your awesome new wingsuit. That is going to be a concern from now on. But there have been some other really cool changes. For a start, Elytra now have a crouching animation, and look at that. I really like that. It looks really cool with the wings spreading out behind you that way. You will also find that if you've got a cape, if you're lucky enough to have a cape, then it will actually match the texture of your cape in a certain way. It's kind of like a mirrored sort of thing, makes you look a little bit like a moth or a butterfly. I really like it. I don't have a cape myself though, so obviously not going to be able to take advantage of that one, but it's definitely the case that people have been skinning these in various ways, and apparently they're going to be customizable as an element to our skin in future. Jeb has said that that is coming, although they're not entirely sure when the change is going to be implemented. It might not even be in this version, so we will be able to find that out at a future date. Now, a couple of changes to the way anvils work. For a start, naming stuff is still going to actually take repair cost, like enchantment cost, but it will no longer add to the repair cost of future repairs. So if you have to repair an item over and over again, then it's not going to have to, it's not going to be added to by the fact that you've named your wings Pix's Happy Thoughts, or at least that's what I'm going to name them anyway. But there is another fantastic new element to repairs, and that is this new enchantment which has been added in this snapshot and is called Mending. Now, this kind of does what it says on the tin, but it doesn't quite work the way you think. It's like an auto repair enchantment, like the kind of thing that you would have in, say, Tinker's Construct or one of those kind of mods, but it doesn't automatically repair stuff right away, like as you're wearing it. And a few people thought that maybe it would stop there being a level cap in anvils, but I can confirm that that is not the case. They have mentioned that a couple of times. I'm going to quickly grab a bow from the practice yard over here, unless we've got a couple of swords now. I'll probably need a bow for this. I needed something I could use to fight the spiders. Wait, do I have weapons and stuff in here? Oh, yes, I do. Fantastic. Okay, we will do that then. And let's take a shield as well. Why not? This is 1.9. We're going in with a shield. And the way these work, the way the mending enchantment works now, is by taking XP from stuff that you kill. It's not going to fill up your XP bar. Watch my XP bar as I kill this spider. See, it only filled up right at the end there, and that's because it was using the XP to mend my Elytra. So that is how the mending enchantment works, and is now going to be kind of a vital part of keeping weapons and items and tools and stuff alive. This enchantment is only going to be findable. It's not going to be available from an enchantment table. You can't enchant a book to get it, or the tool to get it. You have to find it. And from what we can see, this update is basically encouraging people to explore the end, so you can bet that it's going to be available in the end as part of the reward. Oh, hi, Pixlriffs, didn't see you there. It's going to be part of the reward for finding end dungeons, whether that's the ships themselves or if it's the towers or something like that. They're probably going to be around there. A few people have even mentioned that they found gear that's already enchanted with mending, or this new enchantment I'm about to show you, in the towers themselves. So probably worth going and exploring the end once 1.9 comes out to find this stuff. Now, a couple of changes since the last update. For a start, the new boats with the new wood type are, in fact, craftable, so you can actually make a spruce boat now using the same recipe as the oak boat was in the last update, and they are a little bit faster. They do still sink into the water when you sit in them a little bit, so it's still something that they're going to have to figure out, but they are faster. As you can see, I got off to a flying start there, and if you scull them, if you press A and D in the right rhythm, then you can actually row them a little bit faster. So some boat racing is actually going to be possible. All in all, these are fantastic so far. I'm having a lot more fun with them than I did with the current boats, and I think it's great that they're now a little bit faster. That's the main problem people had with them when the update to boats came out. Now, the other thing in this chest is something else I'm very excited about, and is more or less going to make the boats a little bit redundant, if not for the fact that you can craft a boat very early in the game, and this is not going to be available until very late. I'm going to step away from the water a little bit here, because this is a new enchantment for boots, which is called Frost Walker, and it comes in 2 tiers, and I'm going to have to go back into creative mode to do this because I don't have enough levels to enchant it from those spiders. But if you put Frost Walker on some boots, like I said, it comes in 2 tiers. You can now wear these and run across the surface of water, and it will form as ice around it. Except it's not actually ice. If you look at this, on the top right hand side of the screen there, you can see it says Minecraft Frosted Ice, and it's got an age value. And that is basically telling it to decay, almost in the same way that leaves and saplings, leaves decay to drop saplings and so forth. It slowly cracks, the ice cracks. If you're not moving next to the edge of the water, it will just completely disappear. And then when you move again, it's going to start appearing. And there's a couple of very interesting things about this. For a start, this frosted ice is not obtainable. You can use it, you can get it with a command block, but it's going to disappear and turn to water again pretty much straight away. You can't get it in the creative inventory, it's not available as a block like ice or packed ice, and you can't harvest it with silk touch, so completely unique to this enchantment. And again, this enchantment is going to be available in the very, very late game, so it's going to be interesting to see how this gets used. Now, I had a go at this in a larger kind of generated world where I was running from a beach over to a jungle, and I tested it out in both day and night, and the results were very different. During the day, it seems like the frost requires active daylight to disappear, because it will disappear behind you as you run around. But at night, because there isn't any sunlight, the frost doesn't decay. So if you imagine being chased by somebody, during the day, it's going to disappear behind you and make it more difficult for them to follow you. But if you're running away from either a player or some mobs at night, they're going to be able to run straight up that trail of ice and follow you. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that ends up being used. Now, another update to established game mechanics is down here in the dungeon, where I've repurposed this into kind of a potions lab, and you can see here blaze powder is now an active ingredient in brewing potions. You've got 64 blaze powder in here, you can get a stack of it in there, and it fills up this meter here, and that is what's required to start brewing. If you add some netherwort to this, do I have any netherwort around here? Apparently I don't. If you add some netherwort or some other ingredients in here, it's not going to start unless you've filled that up with a blaze powder. So blaze powder now vital for brewing, and to be fair, it's kind of justifying blaze powder's existence in the game a little bit more, because once you got blaze rods for the potion stand in the first place, it was only ever needed for potions of strength. So all of that blaze powder pretty much went to waste if you had a lot of it. But now people were worried that it was going to break the automation of their brewing stands, and I can confirm that that is not the case, because if you put water bottles in the chest and it's feeding into the side like this, pop some blaze powder up here in the corner, and that's going to filter into the brewing stand, and you'll be able to automate it that way. So it's all going to work pretty much the same as before. Just got to make sure you've got you've got some blaze powder in your chest feeding into the brewing stand from the left. Ingredients and stuff can go in the top, and of course you can output from the bottom. And the ice this water block down here has just frozen because I'm wearing Frost Walker boots, so that's pretty awesome. Anyway, that is pretty much it for this update. There are a couple of other things that have changed, a couple of little bug fixes. You'll also notice that if you go into books and stuff, you'll find that enchantments that only had one tier, like Flame, Infinity, Silk Touch, no longer have the 1 after it, and the new Mending enchantment isn't Mending 1, it's just Mending. So yeah, tiered enchantments no longer have the number, which looks a little bit strange to me at first, but I think it's something I could definitely get used to. It wasn't really doing a great deal in the first place. If anything, it was a little bit misleading, so it's kind of cool that they've changed that to clarify things maybe for people who are new to the game. Anyway, that is going to be it from me today. Thank you very much for watching this. My name has been Pixlriffs. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. And today's video was brought to you by the kind Patreon donation of Germ, who is actually a buddy of mine from the Colony Craft server. He plays with Treeroot and the gang, and he is joining the Patreon server with us in November. So thank you very much for that donation, very much appreciated. If you feel like going the extra mile and donating to me on Patreon, head over to patreon.com/Pixlriffs and check out the awesome rewards that are over there. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now. This is kind of the only copy of my head left in existence right now, like my actual head, because obviously this pumpkin thing that's going on right now, not the desirable situation. So I was wondering, this is, like I said, this is kind of a weird one-off kind of thing, but I was wondering if I could rent my head off of you until I could get this figured out. this is kind of the only copy of my head left in existence right now, like my actual head, because obviously this pumpkin thing that's going on right now, not the desirable situation. So I was wondering, this is, like I said, this is kind of a weird one-off kind of thing, but I was wondering if I could rent my head off of you until I could get this figured out.